So we know that NABARD Grade A Phase 2 examination is on 25th of January. And when we talk about Phase 2 examination, descriptive writing plays a very important role. You cannot clear Phase 2 examination if you're not comfortable with descriptive writing, right? So as a part of this video, we are going to see that what is the approach that you can follow that will help you to write better answers and will help you to maximize your score also as a part of this answer writing process. So this is something that we are going to see. But before we do that, just a small announcement. If you want to download the guidebook for NABARD Grade A examination, what you can do, you can go to the description box, click over the link, and you can download it from there. This guidebook is going to include the pattern with respect to NABARD Grade A exam, the syllabus, and a detailed strategy also. So it is going to be very beneficial. You can go to the description box and you can download it. I hope it is clear. Now, before we begin with answer writing, please understand that answer writing is not rocket science. At the end of the day, what you are doing, you are reading content, you are consuming content, right? And you are basically expressing that content in the form of an answer. The only thing is that you will have to write it within a structured format. You will have to write it within proper word limit and time limit, also sort of things. So there are such kind of variations, but at the end of the day, what you are doing, you are studying, you are reading content, you are consuming, and you are writing an answer on it. It is simple as that. So the rule is that basically if you have practiced enough, that is not going to be a barrier for you. Answer writing is not going to be barrier for you at all. That is something that I can promise you. Now, when we talk about answer writing, what is the approach that you can follow? A very practical approach that you can follow. I'm not going to talk about something that is really unrealistic. This is something that you all can follow when we talk about writing answers in the examination. The first and the foremost thing is basically the content, right? Now, content, although I agree that content is not everything, apart from content, there are other things also that have to be put into consideration. But again, content is something that cannot be ignored, because if you don't have quality content, if you have not read quality content, when I say quality content, what does it mean? It basically means whatever sources you are following in order to cover the syllabus. Apart from that, the other type of fodder material also. What type of fodder material? For example, it can be ready-made introductions, it can be good quality data, it can be sufficient number of examples where you can substantiate your answer. So all the sort of things, if you have good quality content, of course you will be able to write an enriched answer as a part of the examination. But unlike this scenario, if you have not read the quality material, if you're not following any kind of good source to cover each and every aspect of the syllabus, so how can you be expected to write a good answer in the examination, right? तो सबसे पहला रूल ही यही है कि यार क्वालिटी कंटेंट आपके पास होना चाहिए, एक ऑलराउंडर, एक अच्छा कंटेंट होना चाहिए जो आप कंज्यूम करो, जिसे आप मेमोराइज करो, दैट यू आर एबल टू रिटेन एंड यू कैन राइट इट इन द आंसर्स, right? So that is the first and the foremost thing. Now the second thing is that revision. Trust me, I've interacted with multiple students, so many students I've interacted with on the strategy call, and most of the students, what they tell me is that, especially the beginners, they tell me is that, sir, I have read the content, but I'm not able to express it, whatever I have read. And trust me, the biggest barrier between this reading and this expression is basically the revision, right? And you can just analyze it by yourself. Take it a task, take it as a homework. Try to read some content, right? If you're following any sort of source, for example, if you are an EduTab student, right? And if you're reading concept notes or summary sheet for a topic, now choose a certain question, a model Q&A, right? And try to write an answer with respect to it. And if you are a beginner, you won't be able to write a good answer. But after that, what you can do, you can revisit this content, right? You can reread that content and try to fill the gaps, that when I had written my answer, what are the points that I had missed, right? Now what you have to do, write the same answer again. Now this time you will be able to write much better answer. And what you will realize, the biggest hurdle was the revision. Since you had not revised that content properly, so that's why you are facing the problem to basically write the points about it, right? And that's why students tell me कि सर मैंने पढ़ लिया सब कुछ, बट जब लिखने जाता हूँ तो एक दो पॉइंट्स से ज़्यादा दिमाग में आते नहीं है. वो इसीलिए नहीं आते बिकॉज आपने अभी अच्छे से रिवाइज नहीं किया होता, आपने कंटेंट को रिटेन नहीं किया होता. द कंटेंट शुड बी ऑन योर टिप्स, then only you will be able to write effective answers within the proper word limit and within proper time limit also. तो कंटेंट के साथ कंटेंट को रिवाइज करना बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. इट इज एक्सट्रीमली इंपॉर्टेंट. इफ यू आर अंडर एस्टिमेटिंग द रिविजन, ट्रस्ट मी, यू विल ऑलवेज फेस दिस प्रॉब्लम रिगार्डिंग एक्सप्रेशन. बट सिर्फ इतना नहीं है, राइट? दिस इज नॉट इट, बिकॉज अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस, issue of revision, there is another aspect also, because of which student face a lot of challenges to write a complete answer or to write a good quality answer. And that thing is basically drawing outline before writing an answer. What I have seen with a lot of students is that the moment they will read the question, they will take around 1 minute, right? And they will start writing answer. Simply they will jump to writing answer without drawing any kind of outline or also sort of things. That is a wrong approach, right? Instead, what you should do, when you are done with the question, when you have read the question, after that, try to take 1 minute, invest that 1 minute, I would say, and within that 1 minute, try to draw an outline. That in the introduction, what I'm going to write, for example, if you have revised enough, you would be having good amount of fodder material, for example, data. So you can know that, okay, I have some data, so I can write this data as a part of it, as a part of the introduction. In the body part, for example, the question is asking about challenges and solution. So you can write body like this कि यार यहाँ मैं लिखूंगा challenges, and here I'm going to talk about the solutions. And in the challenges, what you can do, you can write कि यार first point में मैं इस बारे में बात करूंगा, second में ये, third में ये. At least try to write 3 points for each, because what happens when you are in the writing process also, when you will start typing it, eventually at the back of your mind you will also be able to generate few points, right? You will always be able to think of, and you will be able to generate some extra points as a part of it. This you can do while typing also, but try to manage to get this three points for each section, right? And later on द कंक्लूजन, राइट? कंक्लूजन बाद में भी सोच सकते हो, जब आप टाइप कर रहे होंगे आपके दिमाग में कंक्लूजन का आइडिया भी आ जाएगा, तो उसको आउटलाइन में चाहे मत लिखो, बट ट्राई टू हैव दिस मिनिमम अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट व्हेन आई विल स्टार्ट टाइपिंग, what are the things that I'm going to cover. If you have that clarity, trust me, what is going to happen, first of all, it will help you regarding expression. The second is that your content is going to appear more structured, because now you know what you have to write. The third challenge that it is going to address, a very important challenge, it will help you to fulfill this mandate of time limit also. Because what students do, immediately when you will jump to start writing answer, you will type something, then you will press a backspace, फिर लिखोगे, फिर बैक स्पेस दबाओगे, फिर आप सोचोगे यार आई शुड हैव रिटन दिस पॉइंट अर्लियर, or I should change the structuring with respect to this answer. So many things will come to your mind, and at the end of the day, when you will be done with that answer, you are going to feel underconfident about it कि यार थोड़ा और अच्छा लिख सकता था. But आप पहले से अगर आउटलाइन बना लोगे, what is going to be the benefit? You are not going to face this challenge, right? Ultimately, you know what you have to write where, and based on that you just have to write the pointers, add some value addition, that is it. You are going to face a lot of, I would say, smoothness when it comes to organizing thoughts and when it comes to writing your answer in a good logical flow. And it's all a matter of outline, right? So do not miss drawing this outline. This is very important, and it will hardly take 1 minute. इससे ज्यादा लगना भी नहीं चाहिए इसमें. 1 मिनट भी मैं ज्यादा बोल रहा हूँ, 45 सेकंड में भी हो जाती है ये, बहुत ही क्विकली. और ये क्विकली कब होगी? जब आपने अगेन कंटेंट को रिवाइज किया है. सो रीड क्वालिटी कंटेंट, revise it enough, retain the information, and then draw the outline. This is the first step. The moment you read the question, right? The moment you read the significant keywords as a part of the question. Now the next thing is structuring regarding the answer. Now when it comes to structuring, a lot of students keep on asking me, sir, should I write the answer in paragraph form or should I write it in the bullet point form? So what you have to do, you have to write your answer in the point wise format only, right? Not in the paragraph format, because point wise format makes your answer look more structured and more organized. For example, if this is your answer sheet, right? If this is where you have to type your answer, so write your answer that this is the introduction. Now this is the heading part 1. Under this write the points that this is subheading part 1, subheading 2, subheading 3, 4. Then this is heading part 2. Then this is subheading of the same. And then after that, what you're writing a structure conclusion. Your answer is going to look neat and clean, and you will make the job of the examiner easier to evaluate your answer. So make sure that basically you are writing it in a well structured manner. Point number 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Address the body parts and then write the conclusion, right? And yes, don't skip the introduction too. So that is the thing. So this is why structure plays a very important role, right? If you will write your answer in an unorganized manner कि यार कुछ भी कहीं भी लिख दिया और पढ़ा भी नहीं जा रहा है सही से, कहीं पैराग्राफ डाल देंगे, पॉइंट डाल दिया, तो of course you are going to make the job of the examiner difficult to read your answer, and you will have to compromise with the maximum marks that you could have scored. So that is the point, right? Now when it comes to writing introduction, make sure that your introduction is relevant to what has been asked in the question, right? Apart from that, it is concise. When I say concise, what do I mean by that? It should be around 10 to 12% of the total word limit, right? So मान लो 400 वर्ड्स का आंसर है, तो 40 वर्ड की इंट्रोडक्शन लिखने की कोशिश करो कि 40 से मैक्सिमम 50 की होगी, उससे ज्यादा नहीं, राइट? बिकॉज सबसे ज्यादा जो वेटेज होता है एग्जाम में मार्क्स का वो बॉडी पार्ट का होता है. सो मेक श्योर दैट बेसिकली यू आर राइटिंग अ गुड इंट्रोडक्शन ऑफ 10 to 12% वर्ड लिमिट, राइट, एंड इट इज रेलिवेंट टू व्हाट हैज बीन आस्क्ड इन द क्वेश्चन. कई बार मैं ये देखता हूँ स्टूडेंट्स क्वेश्चन की डिमांड ही नहीं समझ पाते हैं, राइट. आई हैव सीन मेनी सिनेरियो. सो व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल रीड द क्वेश्चन केयरफुली, ट्राई टू हाईलाइट द कीवर्ड कि यार क्वेश्चन में पूछा क्या हुआ है. And when you are writing the introduction, your introduction should be oriented towards that theme only. Make sure you are doing that, otherwise you will end up writing an irrelevant introduction, right? So in order to write the relevancy, in order to add relevancy to your answer, to your introduction, make sure that you are highlighting the keyword, understand the theme of the question, and based on that write a good concise introduction, right? This is what you have to do. Then when we talk about the conclusion, right, the conclusion should also be written somewhat accordingly. You have to write a concise conclusion, right? Apart from that, the conclusion should also be of 10 to 12% word limit. Very importantly, please remember that if possible, right, in most of the cases it will be possible, right? So if possible, try to write your conclusion in a solution oriented manner. कई बार मैं देखता हूँ स्टूडेंट क्या करते हैं, जो बॉडी में लिखा होता है ना वही कंक्लूजन में जाके लिख देते हैं, उसका फायदा नहीं होता ज्यादा, ठीक है. तो कंक्लूजन का मतलब ये है कि यार यू आर कंक्लूडिंग समथिंग एंड यू आर राइटिंग योर कंक्लूजन इन अ फ्यूचरिस्टिक फॉर्मेट, इन अ सोल्यूशन ओरिएंटेड फॉर्मेट, कि यार आगे क्या करें. कोई चैलेंज ऊपर डिस्कस किया बॉडी में, उसका सोल्यूशन डिस्कस किया, अब कंक्लूजन में बता दो कि यार मतलब दिस कैन बी अवर लॉन्ग टर्म विजन, अवर लॉन्ग टर्म अप्रोच विद रिस्पेक्ट टू दैट सर्टेन टाइप ऑफ इशू दैट हैज बीन आस्क्ड एज अ पार्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चन, right? So make sure that you are doing that and your conclusion is futuristic in nature, it is solution oriented in nature, right? कि आप लॉन्ग टर्म कोई विजन की बात कर रहे हो, चाहे वो गवर्नमेंट की विजन हो, चाहे वो फार्मर्स की विजन हो, चाहे वो सेल्फ हेल्प ग्रुप की विजन हो, चाहे वो कोई गवर्नेंस रिलेटेड विजन हो, राइट, क्या वो किसी, क्या पता वो किसी रेगुलेटरी बॉडी की विजन हो, डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द क्वेश्चन. सो ट्राई टू connect to that and you will be able to write good, constructive and relevant conclusions as a part of your answer. You're not going to face any big hurdle with respect to that, right? Now let us talk about the body part also. Now body part, सीधी सी बात है that the approach towards the body part depends upon the content that you have read and how much you have revised that content. If you have revised enough, if you are able to retain good amount of information, you are not going to face any hurdle regarding body. Simple सी बात है. All it is a matter of practice, right? You should know, you should practice that when I'm generating any point, I am I talking about the cause effect relationship or not. ठीक है, कुछ लोग पॉइंट्स लिखते हैं, पॉइंट्स को क्या करते हैं, जो चीज हेडिंग में लिखी वही उसके एक्सप्लेनेशन में रिपीट कर दी और उसके बाद एक एग्जांपल लिख दिया. वो ऐसा नहीं करना है आपको, राइट? यू डोंट हैव टू बी रिपीटेटिव. राइट द हेडिंग, देन राइट द कॉज और इफेक्ट ऑफ दैट हेडिंग, right, and then give the example. Cause और effect से क्या होता है, you are basically showing, for example, if the question comes that why Indian unemployment is so high, then you are writing the point the lack of skill development is the reason. तो सिर्फ lack of skill development मत बोलो, ये बताओ कि lack of skill development, how it is the reason behind unemployment, right? And then you can write the data with respect to skill development report. So always try to build cause effect relationship and it is just a matter of practice. When you will practice enough, automatically your mind is going to get trained to generate statements in such format only, right? So it's all a matter of practice. तो यहाँ अगर आपने प्रैक्टिस कर ली है, उसके बाद यार पूरा खेल है रिवीजन का. कंटेंट याद करोगे, अच्छे से रिवाइज करोगे और आपका बॉडी का काम खत्म हो जाएगा, right? You will just have to frame the points regarding cause and effect relationship, add example, move on to next point, then the next part of the body, then write the subsequent points and you are done with the body part. That is the most important thing. Apart from that, please don't forget, as I told you in the previous scenario also, that value addition is going to play a very important role. When I say value addition, you have to add value to your answer, because if examiner is checking 10 answers, right, your answer should be a bit different. Otherwise, how you are going to get the competitive edge in the examination? At the end of the day, it is a competitive examination, right? So make sure that you are adding value to your answer either through examples or through data or some facts, all such sort of things. If you are able to add good quality examples, right, you are going to get edge in the examination and you are going to score high, right? This will help you to maximize your score. And how you can think of these examples or data, यार गूगल आपके पास इतना सारा पड़ा हुआ है, तो पहले से क्या करो, एक फॉर्डर मटेरियल प्रिपेयर करो कि यार मतलब ये टॉपिक्स हैं, these are the topics that are there as a part of my syllabus. So for what type of topic, what type of data you can write or what type of examples you can write, वो सब रेडीमेड होना चाहिए. अगर वो रेडीमेड होगा तो एग्जाम में you won't have to spend a lot of time to recall that information and to think that information, because if you will start creating the examples in the exam itself, तो आपका पेपर कैसे खत्म होगा. तो जरूरी चीज ये कि रेडीमेड आपके पास एग्जाम्पल को डेटा स्टैट्स पड़ा हो हर ऑलमोस्ट हर मेजर टॉपिक के लिए, ताकि आप उसे रीयूज कर सको, रिसाइकिल कर सको अलग अलग आंसर में, जहां भी आपको लगता है कि यार ये डेटा मैंने पढ़ा था, उसे यहां पर यूज कर लिया, राइट? यू आर एबल टू जनरेट दैट इन्फॉर्मेशन एंड यू विल बी एबल टू गेट द कॉम्पिटेटिव एज इन द एग्जामिनेशन. योर आंसर इज नॉट गोइंग टू साउंड जनरल, राइट? इट विल बिकम मोर स्पेसिफिक, right? And it will become more issue oriented. So that is something that is required. So value addition should not be underestimated as a part of it, right? So this is very important. And try to add value by linking your static answer with the current affair also. For example, आप अगर मान लो कि इरिगेशन सिस्टम की बात कर रहे हो, ठीक है, एआरडी में, तो वहां पर बताओ कि अगर गवर्नमेंट ने कोई कृषि सिंचाई प्रधानमंत्री कृषि सिंचाई योजना से रिलेटेड कोई अभी चेंज लाया है, कुछ रिवाइज किया है स्कीम में, तो अभी अभी किया है, तो उसको लिखो. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, फॉर इंस्टेंस, गवर्नमेंट हैज डन दिस एंड दैट. Try to integrate the current affair with the static answer. Just because the examiner is asking that what are the issues that farmers face with respect to adoption of technology, तो वहां लिखो कि यार क्या क्या इशू फेस करते हैं वो, राइट? ट्राई टू गिव एग्जाम्पल any kind of recent technology, for example artificial intelligence, how it can be used, how drone technology can be used, right? तो उस तरह के challenges लिखो so that you are able to link the static part with the current affair part. Then only you will be able to generate maximum marks. अगर सिर्फ आप static portion लिख के आ रहे हो, ये जो बुकिश इंफॉर्मेशन आपने पढ़ी है, तो काम नहीं बनेगा. आपको गूगल पे जाना है, राइट? ट्राई टू फाइंड सम एग्जांपल्स रिलेटेड टू दैट, राइट? यूपीएससी वेबसाइट्स है बहुत सारी, आप उस टॉपिक के साथ यूपीएससी कीवर्ड यूज करो गूगल पे जाके, आपको बहुत सारा डेटा, बहुत सारे एग्जांपल मिल जाएंगे. सारा का सारा नहीं उठाना है, सिर्फ उतना उठाना है जितना एग्जाम में लिखा जा सकता है, राइट? डोंट ट्राई टू डुप्लीकेट योर एफर्ट्स, डोंट try to waste your efforts. Just use that information that you can write in the examination. If you think that whatever content I have with respect to the topic in my notes is sufficient, then don't go anywhere, right? That should be sufficient, and just memorize that, and if the question comes, just write it in the examination. So this value addition is also very important, right? So I hope it is clear. The last is that please learn to respect time limit and word limit. और ये मैं बोलूंगा कि 90% ये जो है ना, ये प्रैक्टिस का खेल है. मैंने से प्रैक्टिस का खेल है, ट्रस्ट मी. आंसर राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इफ यू आर not comfortable with answer writing, if you have not done the proper typing, you don't have good or sufficient typing speed, right? You are not comfortable with framing sentences, you are pressing backspace again and again, right? You are still under confident about it, you have no idea that how much should I write for a 400 word answer, for a 600 word answer, then you are going to face the trouble, right? For example, if the 400 word answer is asked in the question, you should be able to complete it within 18 minutes, right? And if a 600 word question is asked in the examination, you should try to complete it within 24 minutes, right? Kyun? Because 18 into 2 is 36 and 24 into 2 is basically 48, right? So it is going to be how many minutes? It is going to be 84 minutes. In the exam, how much minutes you are getting? You are going to get 90 minutes. So out of 90 minutes, you are able to write your answer within 84 minutes only, and 6 minutes are there for the proofreading. You can check that whether you have done any kind of spelling error or maybe any kind of I would say grammatical mistake, you want to fix that, right? So you can proofread your answer later on. So ये 18 और 24 का रूल आपको याद रखना है, और अगर आप इसको ब्रीच कर रहे हो आंसर लिखते टाइम, तो फिर आपको प्रॉब्लम होगी एग्जाम में, राइट? तो इफ यू आर अ बिगिनर एंड यू आर वाचिंग दिस वीडियो, तो तब तो समझ में आता है, राइट? बट अगर आपको ऐसे जो अभी फेस टू लिखने जा रहा है नाबार्ड का, तो थोड़ा आपको एक्स्ट्रा पुश देना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज एग्जाम बहुत पास है एंड यू हैव टू प्रैक्टिस अकॉर्डिंगली, राइट? बट इफ यू आर अ बिगिनर, देन आई वुड से एज अ बिगिनर, डोंट वरी अबाउट टाइम लिमिट. Firstly, focus upon the structuring, get comfortable with that. Then after 1 to 2 months, you can focus upon writing in a faster pace. You can worry about time limit, also sort of things, right? These things can be done later on also. But yes, if you are something who is already pro, आप फेस टू के लिए अपीयर होने जा रहे हो, तो फिर यार अभी थोड़ा पुश करो और अपने आप को ट्रेन करो दैट हाउ यू कैन राइट इट विद इन अ स्पेसिफिक वर्ड लिमिट, राइट? Very I would say in a very precise manner. So that's what you have to learn. This is the art that takes time, and you have to think accordingly, right? So try to develop some approach for the 400 words answer, where if you have good knowledge, you have to write it specifically. But for the 600 words answer, you need to explain certain things also in order to meet the 600 word limit. तो अपनी अप्रोच को आंसर की डिमांड के हिसाब से ढालना सीखो, right? You need to evolve yourself to get adaptive to these situations. So I hope it is clear to you, and please keep these things at the back of your mind, and please practice accordingly, no matter if you are an expert or if you are a beginner, and then only you will be able to develop a good roadmap as far as the answer writing skills are concerned, and you will be able to maximize your score in the examination, right? So these are the skills that are required as a part of an answer to be considered it as a good answer, right? So please do that. Now before I end the session, and yes, apart from that, if you have any question, कोई specific doubt है किसी का नहीं समझ में आ रहा है, कोई आपका issue है, तो उसे comment box में लिखो. I will read the comments and I will answer your queries, right? Or you can contact me also through hello@edutap.co.in, and we can have a phone call also where we can discuss your issue. So that's what we can do. So now what I'm going to do, let me also tell you that how edutap can help you as a part of your preparation. So what you have to do, you just have to go to this website, which is edutap.in, and in the edutap.in website you can go to the courses section, then all courses section, and you can see what type of courses do we offer for now NABARD. This is NABARD grade A, right? So you can see there is crash course that is running on, then there is free of cost, not free of cost but 1 rupee, 1 rupee worth trial course also, right? That is there. This will give you a good idea कि यार जो पूरा course है वो किस बारे में है, right? So you will get a good idea. Then we have test series also, recorded crash course, then we have gold and silver course too, which will give you the full idea regarding phase 1 and phase 2 preparation, right? And the silver course, which will give you content for the phase 2 and interview exclusively, right? So this is the idea regarding it. So I hope it is clear to you. And again, if you have any doubt, please write it in the comment box or you can connect with me, right? So thank you so much and all the best for your preparation.